Do you want to play Conquest with extra steps? Well, Outpost mode is definitely the game mode for you. Just kidding. I kind of like it. It's fun. I like it more on the Mercury map, which is this one here. It's pretty funny whenever people aren't paying attention because they're too busy building things, and you sneak up on them and then shoot them in the butt. I just thought this was funny that this guy drove the truck straight in and nobody noticed. And you like run people over, and I was shooting them with the machine gun. But yeah, like I said, if you come up on people that are preoccupied, you can just shoot them in the back a lot. One thing that was kind of annoying about the game mode is if you don't have a good squad, it can get frustrating, because the first couple games I played, I had like one squad member because all the other squads were full, and he kept just like camping at the back of the level, and you can only spawn on your squad mate or on the deployment, so you can't spawn on the objectives. So that's kind of a frustrating thing. And then I don't know if y'all have noticed this, I play on Xbox, so I don't know if that makes a difference, but specifically this Mercury level, my textures just blink constantly in certain buildings, and it's super annoying. Like, I was getting distracted because this railing kept vanishing on me, but yeah, I was running around. I was trying to do some assignments at the same time I was playing this, so I was using like the K7. I was trying to master it, but I was also working on the Tides of War thing. I don't remember what part I was on at this point, but the first one was you just had to like play one round or something. That might have been what I'm doing now, because I wasn't like trying to really build anything. But the Tides of War things are pretty easy. I did it in like just a few rounds. One thing I did like to do on this mode though is use the Pathfinder and put a spawn beacon kind of close to an objective, especially when I was in a bad squad, because then, you know, if I died I could just sneak up in there and just basically respawn right next to it, and they don't expect you to be back that fast a lot of times. I do kind of like this mechanic of building and to capture the point. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, Conquest is kind of boring to me in a way, but I feel like having this extra layer of building something kind of, I don't know, made it a little more entertaining to me. Especially on the Mercury map, because the points are all kind of close together. It's more like, it feels more like a Conquest mode, but with a building mechanic. Here's a good example of the spawn beacon. I literally just put it right there next to the objective. They took it, I spawned in and killed the guy. They just didn't expect me to be there, but there's so much friggin' smoke. But it's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of the old days whenever you could play Rush on like Bad Company 2, where you could shoot the MCOMs with like the tank or the, you know, artillery or any of that stuff and blow it up that way, because you can actually just shoot it with explosives and destroy it, especially if it's only on the first level, the first layer. Another example of my spawn beacon working in my favor here. Just swapped over to assault and took out the tank. But yeah, Mercury is definitely the better of the maps. This Arras is kind of annoying because the objectives are really far apart. There's only 4 of them, and they're all like on the edge of the map. Like, I feel like they should have put at least 1 more in the middle of the map, or even 2 more. Would have made it a little more entertaining, I think. But I was getting really tired of running around, so I switched back to my Pathfinder thing and just kept putting the spawn beacon over here by A, and I would just basically, well, I decided to leave, and that's when they came and armed it, so I went back. But I started just kind of hanging out at A, and every time I would die. I would just spawn kind of nearby, and by the time I'd run up there, most of their team had already run away because they're just like all running to one objective. So you just run in and rearm your thing, and it works pretty good, especially if you're playing by yourself. If you have a good squad, then it's not that big a deal because they'll just hide and you can spawn on them. But unfortunately, I kept getting put in squads with really stupid people. But yeah, what else? I was kind of just hanging out over here, waiting for them. Yeah, I guess it could be a really good game mode, I think, if they kind of balance the map a little different for Arras and maybe even added a couple more maps, but they're probably not going to do that because it's a limited time game mode, so it's probably never going to change. It's probably just going to be like this until the end, and then, you know, it's okay, I guess. One thing I did notice, you gain points really fast, so like I'm in a squad by myself and I already have 10,000 points, which was pretty irritating because I was trying to do the Tides of War thing, and one of them was to spend 60,000 points, and there was like several times where the squad I was in, we would get enough points, but the guy that was the squad leader just would not call in the stuff. That's why I like started playing in a squad by myself. So if you can get in a squad that's smart enough to actually call in their damn points, you'll do the Tides of War thing really fast, because that path that uses the points is way faster because you don't have to kill so many people. But either one is pretty quick. But we played later on in the day on this, and Boomer, the other dude that plays with me, he did the Tides of War thing really quick, like just like a couple rounds, like maybe 4 rounds. I don't know how many rounds, but really fast, way faster than I did it, because we actually had a decent squad. That last round right there was pretty crazy because we were losing like the entire time, and just sitting there, I think just sitting there annoying them at A, our team finally like started pushing forward and taking the other objectives and stuff. So we ended up barely winning. Yeah. I was trying to snipe because I was bored of using the pistol thing. Another really good thing, because a lot of people just like to hide on the objectives, is just using spotting flares constantly. I mean, that's useful in any game mode, but it seemed like it was really helpful on this. Yeah, I don't know. I was just running around with a sniper rifle on this part, but this was just, I wanted to show this because this was the round, one of the rounds where we had like plenty of points to call it in, and the guy just like refused to do it. Like he didn't even mark objectives, and then it's one of those people where, oh, and I thought this was kind of funny, but it's one of those people where he doesn't mark anything unless you ask for squad leader. It's like, you're not helping. You could be gaining more points if you would just mark something, even if it's just to defend one. I totally died, but I wanted to kill this plane, so I just drove out of bounds. But look how close we were. 53, 250 out of 60,000. And we had, so what was that? What, less than 7,000 more points to spend? And we have, by the end, we had 13,000 points. He could have just called in a few things and we would have done it. But no, he just wouldn't do it. So I'm just sitting here like, you freaking idiot. Like, look how close that stupid sliver is. But yeah, that top path right there is the fastest one if you get in a good squad. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the game mode and what I think about it and the points and stuff. So if you like the video, give me a like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, and talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.